Most people think fat loss is all about willpower, being more disciplined, and all this crazy fancy stuff. But if that were true, if that was really the case, every motivated guy on January 1st would still be lean by December. Now, I personally and all my other clients, we do not rely on discipline. I rely on systems, on habits that make overeating, overindulging on food quite literally almost impossible. Like the way that I have set up my environments, my systems, even if I tried to get fat, it will be very difficult. Like it will be more challenging for me to become obese and overweight with the current lifestyle that I have set in place than it will be for me to get six-pack abs. And I know that sounds crazy, but you can quite literally manipulate your environment and create these systems that I have for myself and that I've created for all my other clients to do the exact same thing. And it's a quite amazing thing because every single day I don't have to struggle anymore. I used to be that fat kid growing up who used to literally struggle with food. I was addicted to eating food, junk food, hyper palatable processed food. I just could not stop eating because as soon as I have one bite, I just get this dopamine hit and like, boom, like I want more. Whereas now, like I'm the exact opposite, where like you'd have to really try really hard for me to like get fat and obese. So in today's video, I want to break down the 5 strange things that I do every single day that keep me lean, energized, even when I'm busy, stressed out, traveling, or surrounded by food. Now, before we get into it, I coach career-driven men who have lost 30 to 50 pounds, all without giving up their favorite foods or spending hours in the gym. Guys with kids, businesses, and zero free time. And most of them travel all around the world. Now, by the end of this video, you'll have a simple system that you can plug into your current life that makes overeating feel unnatural. I'll walk you through the 5 daily rules I live by, the science behind why they work. So I'm not just going to tell you guys like, hey, this is what I do, but I'm actually going to back up the things that I do, which obviously work for me and my clients, but then also like are backed scientifically. And then some real client examples of how these habits change their body without wrecking their schedule. So let's get into rule number 1. I eat the same meals every single day. Most guys don't overeat because they're hungry. They overeat because they're tired of deciding, what should I eat? How many calories is this? Is this too much? This mental fatigue starts to build up over time. And when dinner comes around, you're ordering whatever looks good. You have to keep in mind that we make so many decisions throughout the day. And I would argue and say most of these decisions, you can just not even have to worry about or think about. So you can just systemize and then carry on with the rest of your day. Like as soon as you wake up in the morning, you're probably thinking about what clothes am I going to wear? Am I going to hit the snooze button? What socks am I going to wear? What underwear am I going to wear? What pants match my shirts? What's the weather like today? Should I bring an umbrella? Should I do this? And then you go into the kitchen. Hundreds of more decisions are going to come. What am I going to eat? Should I drink water? What about the coffee? Where's the creamer? Where's the sugar? I got to feed the kids. What does my wife want? Like all these decisions before you've even started your workday. And once again, it may not seem like a huge deal because you're probably so used to it. But when mid-morning comes around, the afternoon comes around, the evening comes around, you are so fatigued mentally by making all these small little stupid decisions. When in reality, you should only be making 1 or 2 big decisions. And you should free up all of your decision power making skills on those 1 or 2 big decisions during the day. And you should probably make those decisions when you're at work, when you're most productive, when you're actually getting paid. Because you're not getting paid to decide what you're going to eat for breakfast. But you will get paid for making the big decisions at work to be more productive, to move the business forward, to move the company that you're working for forward, hopefully. Like that is how you become a productive member of society. You don't become a productive member of society by thinking about what to eat for breakfast or what clothes to wear. So if you can right now just systemize these small little things and then actually free up some mental bandwidth some mental clarity for the more important decisions of the day, you're going to be far more productive and are probably going to make a lot more money. So this isn't just about fat loss. This is literally about like changing your life. And so I travel a lot. Like last year, I traveled at least once a month. I went to Dubai, Mexico, all across the States, LA, Miami. I lived there for a bit. Like I travel all across the world. And when I was traveling nonstop, bouncing between cities and hotels, I noticed something. I noticed that on the days that I was freestyling my meals, I did not have as much control over what I was putting into my body. And now on the days that I just ate the same 3 to 4 meals every single day, I stayed lean without even thinking about it. Imagine how freeing it is to just live life and not have to worry about the foods that you're going to be eating. Now, of course, I totally get it. Variety is the spice of life. We all want variety, but at the same time, we also want consistency and we also want results. And the results come through that consistency. And so sometimes you're going to have to make the choice of, would I rather have the variety or would I rather have that consistency that actually gets me results? And now don't get me wrong, you can very well still have that variety of food and still see phenomenal results. But if it's costing you and if it's making you overeat, then I would definitely say at least Monday through Friday, keep the same meals just on rotation every single day. It'll help clarify your day. It'll help with your grocery shop. It'll help with your meal prep. It'll help with your hunger cues, because if you know what you're going to be eating at what times, your body will actually tell you that, hey, because we tend to eat this at this time, we are going to start to get hungry at this time. Whereas if you're eating different foods at different times, different meals, your body is kind of guessing. It's like, well, when do we actually get hungry? And then after eating this food, should we expect to eat even more food after, or are we good for the next couple of hours? And so that's why I'm such a big fan of eating the same meals every single day as well, not just from a productivity standpoint, but then also from it really helps your body. Because if I eat different meals at different times, different days, I sometimes don't really get that satisfaction afterwards either, because I may eat something and my body's like, well, is this truly satisfying? Is this really going to fill us up? Are we going to have another meal after this? Or are we going to be snacking after this? Whereas if I eat the same meals, like I already know that, okay, if I eat this meal, I feel full, I feel energized, and it's going to exactly hit the spot for me, and it's going to tide me over for the next couple of hours. And just having that predictability of just your nutrition, of your food, and being in control of that, it allows you to just worry less about it and just focus more on, once again, the more important things in your life, like work, like your relationships, like being with your family, being with your kids, other things that don't revolve around food and diet, right? And so I rotate between lean proteins, fruits and vegetables, and a couple of controlled healthy fat sources, and that is it. Same structure. And then if I want different flavors, I'll just add different condiments. Like I'll use a different hot sauce. I'll use a different seasoning. And that to me is enough variety for me. And now a study in appetite found that food variety increases total calorie intake, even when hunger stays the same, because the brain literally eats more when it is entertained. When you're getting all these different dopamine spikes of like different foods here, different foods there, it's like your brain wants like, oh, your brain gets excited. You're like, oh, I want more of this. I want more of this. Let's try some of that. And that's why, especially when you go to like an all-you-can-eat buffet, you're surrounded by all this food and you just want to try every single one of it, right? Whereas if you're just in an all-you-can-eat buffet and there's only 2 options, well, there's only so much of those 2 options that you actually want to eat realistically. So the less variety, the less overeating. And now one of the guys that we work with, Mark, lost 18 pounds in just 10 weeks. We didn't change his calories. We just gave him 3 repeatable meals that he could make in under 10 minutes. Boring is not broken. Boring is automated fat loss. Let's move over to rule number 2. I don't eat breakfast. And now when a lot of people think about breakfast, they think about waking up and then eating something right away. And now, of course, breakfast means breaking the fast. So you're eventually, after waking up, are going to have to break your fast. So your first meal automatically becomes breakfast. So yes, I technically do eat breakfast. I break my fast after waking. We all do. But the reason why I say I don't eat breakfast is because a lot of people think that, okay, breakfast means eating something right away. I don't do that. I delay my breakfast by a couple of hours after waking, because most people start their day with a blood sugar roller coaster. They eat sugary cereals, toast, smoothies, coffee with sugar, and then 2 hours later, guess what? They're starving once again. Now, I noticed on mornings that I skipped food and just drank water and black coffee. I didn't even think about snacking. My focus went up, my productivity went up, my cravings went down. And so what I did is I just delayed my first meal, not to be extreme, not for autophagy, not for any of these other crazy claims you may hear other people say about intermittent fasting. Like, all intermittent fasting really does is just decreases your eating window. That is it. And now I noticed for myself personally that cognitively, mentally, I just feel a lot more productive on an empty stomach with some black coffee and water. So once again, I do this not to be extreme, but to save calories for meals I actually enjoy later. And also, just from a common sense perspective, we should really only be eating whenever we're hungry, especially when it comes to fat loss. Like, if you're forcing yourself to eat food, like, sure, it's a good issue to have, but like, why force yourself to eat food when you're not hungry? Why not wait until the time that you actually are hungry to actually eat the food? You'll enjoy it more, and it won't feel like you're stuffing it down, right? So I noticed for myself that in the early mornings, I'm not hungry. The last thing I want to do is eat. And it kind of weighs me down too. It distracts me. So I wait. I wait a couple of hours. I get a bunch of deep work done. I feel super productive. I feel amazing. I feel energetic. And then once I am actually hungry, then I actually eat. Wow, crazy, rocket science. And also, like, I tend to get hungriest at night in the evening time. Most of my cravings come out then. And so I strategically just save my calories for when I'm most hungry. Now, I know it sounds like common sense, but a lot of people don't have that when it comes to their food intake. They think that breakfast is the most important meal of the day because all these breakfast companies from a very young age have told you that, hey, you have to eat breakfast. You have to eat a sugary cereal as soon as you wake up in the morning. But the only reason they say that is so that you can buy their product and eat their product. That is the only reason. There's no real evidence to suggest that breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Because at the end of the day, as long as you hit your required calories and macronutrients for the day, you will see the results you're looking for, whether you eat breakfast first thing in the morning or you delay your breakfast like myself. If you want to have 5 meals a day spread out evenly, or 3 smaller or 3 larger meals, like whatever, it doesn't matter. Focus on the big picture, calories and macronutrients. Hit your calorie goal, hit your protein goal, eat enough carbohydrates, eat enough fats, and you're going to be good to go. Now, caffeine has been shown to suppress appetite short-term and increase fat oxidation. And research on time-restricted eating shows many people naturally just eat fewer calories when their eating window is shorter. And it makes sense, right? The shorter your eating window, the less physically time you have to actually eat within that window. Whereas if you just give yourself a larger window to eat within, the more opportunities, the more chances you have to eat and therefore also overeat. Once again, common sense, not rocket science. Now, one of my clients, Davey, was a snack before lunch type of guy. He would snack before lunch all the time. Now, when we pushed his first meal back just 90 minutes, so not even doing something extreme, just 90 minutes, 2 hours, he dropped 3 pounds in the first week without changing dinner or weekends. So you do not need more discipline. You just need better timing. And really just listen to your body. Listen to your hunger cues. Listen to your body. Biggest thing ever. I know, yes, if you are overweight and obese, you probably should not always be listening to your body because, yeah, there's a reason why you are overweight, and that's because you probably have overeaten in the past before. But yeah, once again, this is something that I do, and it works tremendously. Moving on to rule number 3. I walk 10 minutes after every single one of my meals. It's been a habit of mine for the past couple of years now, and I've noticed some huge, not huge, but like, yeah, actually some pretty massive benefits from it. So that voice hits 10 to 20 minutes after you eat of, I need something sweet. I need desserts. How many times have you told yourself that there's always room for desserts? Or someone else has told you that there's always room for desserts? Now, that is not true hunger. That is just the habits that you set for yourself. And so I started walking instead of opening the pantry after eating my meals. And something weird happened. my cravings after eating my meals disappeared. So I didn't do any cardio. I didn't do any sweating, just movement. Around the block, throughout the office, throughout my living room, whatever. Like, it doesn't have to be crazy. Just go on a 5 or 10 minute walk after your meals, because studies have shown that light walking after meals can actually improve blood sugar control, improve your digestion after eating a meal, and reduce post-meal cravings. So if you're that type of guy who eats a meal, but then immediately after you're still kind of hungry and you're craving something sweet, don't go into your pantry. Don't eat something right away. Just go on a 5 or 10 minute walk, because oftentimes our brain needs to catch up to actually feeling full. Because how often have you eaten a meal and you were still hungry after? Probably pretty often, right? But then you force yourself to wait 10, 15, 20 minutes, and that hunger just disappears. It's almost like it's finally caught up to you. That's what you just ate has now been fully digested. Your brain has been processing it, and now it knows that, okay, we just ate something, now we're full, now we're satisfied. And so that's why you always see these people who rush through their meals. They tend to just eat a lot more food as well, because they're eating and eating and eating and eating, and then eating and eating and eating and eating, and then their brain has no time to actually catch up to what is actually happening. There's this one quote, and I forget how to actually pronounce this, but it's like, your eyes eat faster than your stomach does, or something like that. Whereas, like, I'm trying to find like a word for this, but hopefully you guys understand what I mean by this. So yeah, that's the biggest thing. If you can, try to slow down when you eat, drink water throughout, chew every single bite, be present with your meal. Don't watch YouTube videos while you eat. Just be fully present. Take your time with eating, drink water, and then go on a 10, 15-minute walk. I guarantee you, you're going to feel a lot better. You're not going to feel as hungry afterwards, because your body literally processes the meal better when you move afterwards as well. And so one of the busiest guys inside of our program, Charles, he works 10-hour days. We just added 2 post-meal digestion walks, as I like to call them. And he told me that one habit killed his night snacking. Just that one habit alone. It's very, very powerful. So you don't need to burn the calories. You just need to break the pattern of snacking right after eating a meal. And you do that by going on a quick little walk. It could be outside, it could be indoors, whatever is most convenient to you. Moving on to rule number 4. I keep my kitchen very boring, and that is intentional. I keep my kitchen very, very boring, because here's the problem. If it is in your house, you will eventually eat it. It doesn't matter how disciplined you think you are, you will eventually eat it. If there's Oreos in the house, if there's ice cream in the freezer, if there's leftover pizza in the fridge, you're just setting yourself up for failure, because when it's inside, it'll at the very least be in mind. And whenever you have that urgency to snack and your willpower is a bit lower and your motivation is a bit lower, guess what's most convenient for you to do? To have that leftover pizza, to have that pint of ice cream, to have that box of Oreos. Whereas if it's physically not in your environment, if it's not in your house, well, it makes it pretty difficult to cheat on your diet, to overeat, right? Like, for example, my kitchen, I only have meal prep meals from Icon Meals. They deliver it to my house every single week. Saves me from having to cook my own proteins, cook my own meals. It's very convenient. Saves me a ton of time, ton of money. I have some fresh fruit and some fresh vegetables, and I have some avocados. That's basically it. I have some seasonings in the pantry, but that's basically it. And so if I were to be hungry, guess what is most convenient for me to eat? It is to just heat up that meal prep, add some seasonings, add some healthy fats, and then boom, there you go. I can carry on with the rest of my day. Problem solved. Whereas if I was bombarded by all this sugary cereals in my pantry, the cookies, pizzas, burgers, fries, whatever, like, yeah, I'll be honest, I'm a human being. I will be tempted to eat those foods because I'm a human being, and we all are not perfect. And so what have I done to help me stay lean year round? And just throw all of that crap away. Just throw it away. You don't need it. You don't need to tempt yourself. Throw it all away, clean up your kitchen, clean up your house, clean up your environment, and then just only add the things that you know will get you closer to your goals, and get rid of everything else that will set you further away from your goals. It is that simple. And I know by me saying this out loud, like, yes, Cohnan, it's common sense. But then why aren't you doing it? And of course, sometimes we have limitations or restrictions where we live with other people. We have kids. we have a spouse, we have a partner, we have a girlfriend, wife, whatever, and they want to eat those foods. I totally get it. But if you're a man watching this, like, find a solution. Either have them lock it up so it's physically not accessible to you, or have them hide it so it's out of sight for you. Find a solution. I lived with my family up until I was 17 years old. And then I lived with roommates all the way from the age of 17 to the age of 22, 23. Thankfully now, at the age of 24, 25, I'm able to live on my own, but it was not always the case. And so when I had to go through that period of living with my family and then living with other roommates who did not have similar goals as me, I still had to make it work. Was it perfect? No, but I still did my best. And so can you. It may not be your fault that your environment looks the way it is right now, but it is your responsibility. One of my favorite quotes ever: it is not your fault, but it is your responsibility. It may not be your fault that it is raining right now, but it is your responsibility to maybe not get wet. So what should you do? You should probably bring an umbrella. As simple as that. So I realized something very simple. I never binged on food I had to drive to get to. So my system is very simple. My kitchen only has protein, fruits, vegetables, healthy fats, and no fun food. And if I want something fun, then I have to physically go out. I make it a decision and not an accident, because it's very difficult to accidentally binge on your diet when you intentionally have to put on your shoes, go outside, get into your car, drive 20 minutes to the store, pick up what you want to eat, and then eat it. Like, you've thoughts pretty hard about it, right? Whereas all these binging episodes typically tend to happen on accidents when you don't really anticipate it. But just because the food is inside and it's in your environment, it just makes it easier to binge on your diet. So yeah. Now, research on food environment shows that proximity matters more than willpower. The closer and more visible a food is, the more likely you are to eat it. Now, one of the dads inside of our program lost 12 pounds just by changing what his kids' snacks were stored next to. When it's outside, it's out of mouth. So here's the lesson. Do not fight your temptation. Just delete it. As simple as that. Now, here's my last rule. This one may sound a bit crazy, but I brush my teeth early. So most overeating happens at night. We can all argue that. Like, you don't hear many people say that, oh, I binged on my diet for breakfast. Usually it's after dinner for desserts, right? So most people overeat not from hunger, but usually from stress, boredom, and the I deserve this type of feeling. You had a good day, you had a good workout, now I deserve a cheat meal. I deserve a night out, whatever. And so when I personally started brushing my teeth right after dinner, my brain started to almost like flip a switch. And it basically meant that as soon as I brushed my teeth, and this is more of a mental thing that I've always associated with myself, where, okay, as soon as I'm brushing my teeth, like, I will, like, it's unacceptable for me, or it's almost like frowned upon for me to eat something after I'm done brushing my teeth. I'm not sure if you guys have done this or experienced this for yourself before, but yeah, even as a kid growing up, after I was done brushing my teeth, it was almost like, okay, food, like, it's no longer a thing until the following day. It feels weird to brush your teeth at night and then eat again after. And it's also one of these things where it's like, I don't want to brush my teeth again, right? So it's like, I might as well not eat, because once you're done brushing your teeth at night and you feel like you want to eat something, you have to ask yourself, well, okay, if I actually eat something right now, right after brushing my teeth, number one, is that actually going to be good for my teeth? I don't know, probably not. But secondly, do I want to go through the process of flossing my teeth again and then brushing my teeth again? Like, no, at least I don't. Honestly, I'm lazy. I'm a very lazy person, and I don't want to be brushing my teeth twice at night. Like, that's not happening. So I make a rule to myself. As soon as I'm done eating dinner, I brush my teeth. I floss my teeth first, and then I brush them. And then that is basically a sign to myself that food is no longer on the table. Food is no longer a thing anymore until the following day. Kitchen is closed. Because mint, that minty flavor, that minty taste, it is a pattern interrupter, at least in my view. And it signals the end of eating. Now, behavioral studies show strong sensory cues can shut down habitual behaviors. So taste changes equals behavioral changes. One of my clients, Skyler, was crushing a bag of chips every single night. And now we just added a very simple habit of early teeth brushing right as soon as she got done eating her dinner. And then she told me it felt wrong to eat after. Because it does. It really does. You don't want to be eating something with a fresh minty breath. Like, you don't want to do that. So here's the lesson. Fat loss isn't about motivation. It is about rituals. So here's the real truth to unpack all of this. Most people do not overeat because they're hungry. They overeat because they're either bored, they're either stressed, tired, or are undecided. Willpower fails under pressure all the time, but systems, they don't. Systems are something that you can actually rely on. How many businesses, successful businesses, rely on feelings, on willpower? None of them do. Apple, Amazon. Do you think Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos rely on their emotions, their motivation? Like, no. They have built predictable systems for themselves, for their customers, for their employees, to get the tasks done, regardless of how they feel. And you should view the exact same thing with your fat loss journey, because you have proven to yourself that you cannot rely on your own willpower, on your own motivation, on your own emotions, because by you doing so, it has led you to where you are today, which is 50 pounds overweight. And you are not happy with that. So therefore, you should probably change something. Systems are going to be your best friends. Now, if this helped, steal at least one rule and run it for 7 days. And I guarantee you're just going to stop eating as much food. Guaranteed. And if you want my help building this into your life, step by step, what you can go ahead and do is book a free consultation call with me down below, where we'll essentially go over your current goals. So see exactly how much weight you're looking to lose. We'll see exactly what's holding you back right now. And we'll create a game plan together to help you absolutely crush your goals in the next 3 to 6 months. If that sounds good to you, the link will be in the description down below, and I'll see you all there. Peace.